Okay, greetings, welcome back. Uh, this is the second part or continuation of me repainting this guy. This is the sergeant for the kill team that I'm going to prepare for um, an event on a store close to me. The Black Lotus has already dried up. You can see that the blue color still shines underneath. I like this way. I like the way it looks, but I still think it needs or it will benefit from another um, layer of Black Lotus. So that's what I'm going to continue doing here. Um, I still have an active Black Lotus paint over here, and let's move on to painting some of the parts that are more blue than black right now. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea that it shines at least on the edges of the armor, the places where this brush, that is a number 5 brush, does not reach. I like that because it gives the impression that the armor is shining in that blue color. Um, I really like how these colors cover um, these express paints. Though I'm pretty sure I'm not using it in the way that they were meant to be used. However, I think it is a nice combination for the effect that I wanted. I bought a new set of paints, a new range from Vallejo. It is called Sci-Fi Paints. Um, it is from Angel Giraldes. He's apparently a very big painter. I'll leave a link underneath it, underneath my video. He is a very experienced guy, I think, on this. I'm not sure how many tournaments, miniature painting tournaments has he won or anything like that, but he seems to be pretty good and he has been working with Vallejo for a while apparently in developing new paints and stuff like that. In the package, I got this miniature, which I will be painting later before moving to my custodes. I'm going to try some non-metallic metal on this one, especially the belly and the color he has. So yeah, I'll try those before moving to painting my custodes. Of that army, the custodes army, I think I'm going to start with the Sisters of Silence. I already have them primed in black, and I did enjoy painting faces, as I said last video. I think if not, if I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. So I'm going to enjoy painting the heads of the Sisters of Silence. All right, with a clear motion upwards. I want the paint to not to be I don't want the effect of a blob of paint on the legs. I want it to look flat as much as possible. And just look at the boots, how they look. I really like how this blue is blending with this Black Lotus color. And yeah, need to change a little bit of my paints over here. But yeah, I think I'm going to start while this is drying, I'm going to try and blend the fluid pink with the black lotus to start on the pauldrons. These paints are really thinned out, so usually um, you do not need that much of a. Basically, you do not need water or thinner or whatever. You just let them be for the most part. This is a nice dark purple, but I think I'm going to place just one drop more of fluid pink. Yeah, I think that is the color I was looking for. Still big, but not in. It will not be lost in the eye when you look at it with your eyes. Um, you will not miss it, or it will not combine with the black. I don't think this was the best brush for this. Probably I made a mistake there. Anyways, let's try and continue this. There was a lot of paint in there. Yeah, made a mistake on this. Thankfully, the paint is thinned out and it's just going for the crevices in the armor. I think, yeah, I did make a mistake. Made a mistake with this brush. I think I'll try with this one. Paint is not dried yet, but let's try a second pass just to see how it works. I think this one is really thinned out. I'll have to wait until it dries. Let's in the meantime move to the other parts that are going to be covered on this with this color. Probably I should have used a different base color for this backpack because at this point I think I'm going to have to use several coats of this combination. Probably I should have to use another blue coat. You can see over here this paint is really transparent. I just went over the blue area over here and yeah, it's just I can still clearly see the blue. It is going to take a lot of effort for this combination to take hold. Probably I should have used a, I don't know, I'm thinking of a gray or a white to use this contrast paint over there. It's a combination. With the blue behind it, it doesn't look that bad. Not sure if I should place a blue coat over all the backpack and then go with this combination to get more purple. Try a little bit of that experiment over here on the shoulder. Um, I'll do that. I'll paint it a little bit blue. Let's while the other parts are drying out. Here is a little bit of the blue from the first time or that I painted this guy, the base coat for the armor. This is very diluted. So hopefully I can, no, I'm not getting a good cover from this. Let me see if I can get a little bit more of it. It's very hydrated on the wet palette. Alright, I think that's a little bit better, but not by much. Let's see how it goes. These contrast paints from Vallejo, I really like them for in this function that I'm using, that I'm placing them in to cover for the color, the base color. I place a base color and then I use the contrast paint. Now this is the way that is intended. It was intended to be used. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think that they were intended just to be flat over your miniature. Um, but yeah, I don't think that's the that this was the way that it was intended to be used. Let's wait for that to dry. In the meantime, apparently the armor is all done. I think there are a few areas over here on the back, but this is not the part that it will be very much viewed by anybody other than me. Now, at the end of the day, I do have an issue when I know there are some imperfections in what I do. So I need to go there and tackle them. And so even if it is in the back and I could just leave it there, which is a recommendation many painters do, that if there's no real reason to go into many details of the portion of the mini, just leave it because yeah, there's no point in really make an effort to paint the sole of the shoes or anything like that that is never going to catch the eye of anybody who's looking at your miniature. But in counter to that is that I am always looking at my actions and my quote unquote work, and I'm very critical of it. So yeah, seems to be looking exactly how I wanted it to be. You can see in the boots a little bit of shine behind the black, which is what I intended. As I said, I think that these guys are using the armor in this color because it kind of reflects the way the sea looks in their homeworld. All right, let's see if this is right. It hasn't dried out yet. Let's just try to. It's very thin. I'll have to wait a little bit more. Just using the tip of the brush to move the paint a little bit over there. We'll have to wait. I'm not sure I'm going to get the effect that I wanted because As you can see here on the backpack, there's a stain of when I used the blue base coat, and with the purple on top of it, it doesn't look that bad at all. But I'm not sure this is going to have the same intensity as this one. Probably I'll have to get the blue paint again, and because this one is really wet and diluted. Um, all right, let me check if it is. All right, I think it is enough. Let's try it one more time. Let's see how it works with the blue underneath as a base coat. Hopefully I'm not reactivating the paint. These are two different company paints. The blue one is AK Interactive, and as I said many times, the express paints are Vallejo paints. So hopefully they mix well together. I don't want, as I said, to reactivate the blue. I want it just to be a base coat, not a. Right, all right. Seems to be working. Maybe not as intended. We have something. Let me just give us a second coat on the backpack. After all, if all of this fails, I will have to prime this guy again. I'm not looking forward to it, but yeah, if all of this goes sideways, I'll just prime this guy again. So my son, if you're watching at me right now, cross your fingers. Let's hope Daddy can make this thing work. Yeah, I still see very blue on that. I'm not sure if I'm liking that. Have to let it dry. Well, I'm about to hit the 20-minute mark. This is a close-up of the sergeant. You can see here my experiment. I don't think it's going to work in the way that I want it to. That's okay. And here's the second coat of this miniature on the combination of purple that I want for the Dark Krakens to have. Um, since these are express paints, we will have to wait for them to dry out. Next one, after everything is done over here, and possibly if my experiment fails, I will have to prime the miniature again, or I'll see what I can do. And if everything goes out right, I'm going to start painting the head on this guy. The arms are going to go in, well, this one is going to go in a gold metallic because that's how I'm going to identify them from the rest of the company. And this one is going to be on the same purple. Other than that, the bolter, red and black. There's ornaments over here. I'm going to start using ivory and copper on the quilla, ivory for the skull, and the bolt pistol again, it's going to have red and black. I'm going to try to get some fluorescent effect over here because on the new paint set that I have, there's a fluorescent green. Now, if you can see, there's a screen of I don't know, pocket computer that he has on the wrist. So that's where I'm going to place the fluorescent paint. If I can, and if I'm brave enough, probably I'm going to try to make some effect on the face for the reflection. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I have to wait for this to dry out, and I'll try to make another update soon. For now, just my son, if you're watching this, just remember I will always love you. Uh, I hope everything in your life is going the way that you want. If not, just remember you keep up, keep going ahead. There's no reason just to let it get you down. And if you're not part of my family and you're watching this, I thank you. I appreciate your time. And well, just leave a comment if you have some questions about anything that you have seen. And again, well, same advice that I gave my son. If something is keeping you down, just don't let it. Try to focus on your life and move forward. You are the first person that should love yourself. So don't expect others to love you until you really love yourself. Well, then, on that note, thank you again and see you next time.